What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the FBA Capital Trading channel. And today I'm bringing you guys a weekly market review on NAS100. So without further ado, we're going to get right on into it. And just a little bit of a heads up, I am doing this live. So if Walter joins right here, what's going on, Walter? Yo, bro. I can't hear you. Yo, what's up, bro? You hear me? You hear me?
Hello?
Yo.
Yo, what's good? How's the weekend?
Chilling. About to see what we can get into now. This is the most important and exciting part. Market just open. But out here, I'm about to go through like my whole markdown and everything, lower time frame, higher time frame. Then we could chop it up. Let's talk about this. All right, bet. But all right, I'm gonna start off just with the higher time frame like I always do. Let me get rid of this US30 chart. This shit is, I don't know, that chart's on some dumb shit. What the fuck? Yeah, that shit, I don't know. But here, I'm about to go to the higher time frame right now. So when I do these higher time frame analysis, I always like to go to the weekly. Sometimes I like to do the monthly. I'm going to go to the monthly just because it is a new month of August. But I usually don't go to the monthly chart every so often. It's more or less you check it every once in a while because a monthly candle is not going to change. It happens once a month, so it takes time. So here we're going to go over to this monthly time frame that we are on right now. And as you can see, the expectation that I had for NAS100 bias wise, I was bullish from when we reacted at this area at 12,183 all the way down to 1130. As you can see, these two down candles on the monthly time frame ended up pushing price to the top side this last month. And as you can see, we had this bullish engulfing. So as of right now, we were in bullish territory, and you can tell based off history, it's been a bullish pair. And after we had this major down move, I think we can see a potential rally to the top side. If it's not a long-term move, I definitely think we're going to be able to at least make a run for this high. So that's what I'm thinking short-term. And this high is at 13,569. So that's going to be a target that I'm looking for based off of the monthly higher time frame. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer term, maybe in the next couple of weeks, but that is something I definitely think can happen. And if we make a push from there, my next area that I think price is more than likely going to come to is back up to this 14,200 area, all the way up to that 2,000 area. But ideally, right around this general vicinity is where I think price will likely go. If we do break past 1351, 13,541, from there we might likely have a potential retracement if it's sooner or later, but more than likely we'll have one at some point before we then push to the top side. And then from here, we could either consolidate, we could do a number of things from this point, but that's going to be something we look for in the future. As of right now, there's not much we could do with the information given, so it's just a matter of waiting for price to move and waiting for that time. But now I'm going to make my way down to the weekly, and I'm going to mark up these weekly highs and weekly lows. And the reason I like to mark up the weekly highs and weekly lows is because, say for example, last week was a bullish week. We know that based off our probabilities, we're more than likely going to break the high of the previous week, and that's just based off of probabilities. It doesn't mean it will happen. For all we know, we could come for this weekly low, but based off of probabilities, based off of this weekly target I think that there's a high chance that price is more than likely going to make a run for these weekly highs, along with tapping into that buy side liquidity at 13,541 right up here. Now from there, I don't know if we're going to have either retracement to then come lower. It could definitely happen, or we might even keep pushing higher. And then, like I said, that 14,200 area is going to be something that I want to see happen. But based off of this, I just want to see 13,541 hit. And that's my short-term target for the week. Anything besides higher than that or lower than that is out of my way. But this is a short-term target that is about how many points away? It's about 336 points away. So that's definitely something we could look for going into maybe Monday, Tuesday. It really depends what day it happens. Doesn't mean it will happen any of those days, but I think more than likely we might get a push. But now we're going to come down to the daily time frame. So we just keep making our way from higher time frame to lower time frame, getting an idea on where price is going and more what it's more likely to do. Now, based off of this, as we can see in this little area right here, the last candle was a down candle. And as you can see, price is slowly making its way to the downside. So based off of probabilities, like I said with the weekly candle, since the last daily candle was bearish, there's more than likely going to be a high probability that price is going to make a run for this daily previous day's low all the way down here. And that's just based off of probability. Why? Because like yesterday, well, Friday was a bearish day, so the likelihood of today being a bearish day, well, the close of Sunday being a bearish day is more likely than unlikely. But based off the weekly perspective, just because we have 1 or 2, maybe even 3, 4 down days doesn't mean that we're not going to close bullish for the week. All depends on where you close at. The intermediate doesn't really matter. It all matters about where you close. But as of right now, I am bullish. But based off probabilities, I'm short-term bearish. So what I think could likely happen is we might get a drop down to this area, all the way down here. And why this area? Because if you look on the daily candle, this is the last 2 down candles before we had this push to the top side. It doesn't mean that we will have reaction there, but if this week is going to be bullish, I don't want to see the weekly low ran. And if we are bullish, I would like to see a push at least coming into Wednesday. So if we can drop Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday, we can still drop. At that point, I want to start seeing a reversal in the trend to continue the bullish trend of the previous week. Now, that is currently what I'm expecting based off of just higher time frames. Now we're going to make our way down to the lower time frames where I can get an idea on what is going to happen on the intraday basis. Because even though I could look at all these higher time frames, what's really going to matter is the intraday time frame, because I'm a day trader. So even though I have a longer term idea on where I think price is going to go, I want to be up to date on what is going to happen within the next couple of hours, next 5-6 hours, because that's what I'm going to be taking my trade on. I'm not going to be taking a trade to then hold it for a week, even though that's where most of the money is. Me personally, I don't have the patience to do that. So we're going to start off by just marking up the previous day's highs and previous day's lows. All the way down here, we got the previous day's low. And then all the way up here, we got the previous day's high. Now, this is the previous day high and low from NFP, which was August 5th. As you can see, the range was a little bit choppy, but for the most part, it was a bearish day. As you can see, we ran the low of this, and we're currently just consolidating around there. So as of right now, I'm looking at the Asian session range from that Thursday, because that Friday doesn't have an Asian session range that fully closed. It is going to be closing within the next couple of hours for the day, but I'm going to use the previous Thursday. And now I'm going to draw these horizontal lines from those lows right here, from that low and this high. And this is ideally a little area in which I would expect price to potentially come up to based off of what I'm looking at. Now, like I said, we might get a few bearish days before the big push to the top side, in my opinion. Doesn't mean it will, but that's basically what I'm expecting. So what can I then expect? From this previous day's high and previous day's low, I'm going to draw a fib. So from that high and low, I'm going to draw a fib. And if you don't know where I drew it from, I drew it from this high, which is the previous day's high. You could even use this high to the left, which is the Asian session high, but I like to use based off timing. So I'm going to use a previous day's high with the previous day's low. And as you can see, we have this area right above it with our fib. Now, what makes this more high probability? Based off the fact that there are highs and lows, not lows, my fault, highs right in these two areas. Now, that might not seem important to you, but in my opinion, the way I look at it is this is going to be buy side liquidity, more than likely run up to. I'm also keeping in mind where we are price wise. We have 13,300 right here at the low of the Asian session. Then we have 13,250 mid figure right here. So ideally within this area of price is where I want to start to watch price to see how it reacts, to then anticipate whether we might get a push or if we are going to continue that bearish trend based off the higher time frame, like I was saying earlier. Now, I don't know why this chart won't go away right here. Don't know, but it's kind of broken, as you can see. But we could get something like this based off that bearish bias that I had. So if you come over here and look at what I was thinking based off the higher time frame, just like this, just how we had, or we're expecting a potential bearish move short term to then push long term into the week, so towards the end. That's what I'm personally thinking on the intraday basis, based off of the previous Asian session, based off the previous day's highs or previous day's lows, and based off areas of liquidity that the market is more than likely going to reach to. And if you also keep in mind, where is the bulk of volume? Look where most of the consolidation is. We have a lot of consolidation here, 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 just in this general area from 300 to around 200. So from that 300 to 200 point range is where I'm going to be searching for a potential drop in price. So right here is 13,200, big figure, just like that. So just in this general area is where you can see prices been having the most consolidation. So more than likely we're going to get a push to the top side from this area or push to the downside. I don't know when it's going to happen, or if either is going to happen. We could say consolidate for the most part. You never really know. It's just based off of creating a bias to follow, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's just about having a system and having a plan and just following that thoroughly and just having a system to go about it. But yeah, this is basically what I'm expecting based off the higher time frame and lower time frame. Nothing crazy. We'll see what happens this week. Last week was NFP, as we all know, so hopefully we get a better week overall. But yeah, that for the most part, that's really all I'm expecting. So Walter, if you could talk now, what you expect and all that.
Shit, by looking, cause I ain't really checked my chart, but looking at what you got, I like to see the same for real.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to see 13,700 tag, and maybe if they start selling the market, maybe look this up and then just see
Yeah.
the play.
It just depends how like these first days of the week kind of play out. Like,
Yeah, like I'm really just gonna be focused on CPI.
ooh, oh yeah, ain't that news this week too? It might be negatives.
That's Tuesday.
In my opinion, with everything that's looking, we might get negative news, and just based off of how the market is looking on the daily, we might get one or two down days before a push, cause we have been bullish as hell, just bullish.
I'm thinking the same. Cause like just look at where we at.
And look at how NFP reacted too.
It's a heavy seller. It ain't heavy seller like
Like
like goddamn.
this right here,
Just like
that NFP move says a lot right now. You could tell that more than likely they're trying to push it in a certain direction. They broke this whole thing low, broke structure right here, and we're kind of consolidating. So in my opinion, we might get a down day, one or two before a push. And I think Wednesday to Thursday is probably when we'll start to kind of change the bearish environment, going to maybe bullish again. But shit, we never know. Tomorrow we could have a big drop and then changes everything, change everything overnight.
no cap. I just know CPI 8:30. We gotta be in whether it's buy or sell.
Yeah, it's just about having a system right now, right? It's just about having a waiting game. We're letting price show us what it wants to do, and when it gives us a good setup and shows us that it's going to do something clean, that's when we'll take advantage on it.
Facts.
I'm eating my dinner, so I'm listening. Then ask me a question if you don't mind. Yeah, that's fine. If I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be on the Zoom. This was just kind of like a quick thing. I have it recorded, so I'm gonna be posting this so everyone can watch it that wasn't here. But I just like having like a one-on-one sometimes. See if you guys have any questions, like my markups or anything. But for the most part, there's not really. There's only so much we could do hindsight. Like I could say all this, doesn't mean it's gonna happen. It's just more or less of a what I hypothesis, like a, you know what I mean? It's like a puzzle almost.
If this stand, I feel like if this stand this zone that they're in, if we don't break that low, maybe like a reaction right there around 1308.
Mhm.
Like if those 13K retest, I guess.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to see what US30 is doing. What's US30 looking like too? Based off of like higher time frame. Damn, yo, US30 had a crazy drop. I ain't even peep it was this bad of a drop on NFP. Yo, from 32,800 to 32,500. That was a 300-point drop. But yeah, it looks like for the most part, we're probably gonna get more bearish moves. These aren't small moves right here. These aren't small moves. And based off that higher time frame, everything's kind of losing that bullish momentum, at least short term. That short term bullish momentum is definitely coming lower. And we're consolidating here on US30 around this 33,000 area. Yeah, I think we'll definitely at least get a short term move to the downside before having a big push, because once we get this big push, that's gonna start to change market direction. Because if, like I said, on the monthly time frame, we have the bullish engulfings on the monthly. So I think it's gonna lead into an environment where we start pushing higher. And if we go into, say, a lot of this recession talk, like we're technically in a recession, but they're kind of just avoiding it. If it keeps happening like that, in my opinion, I think we'll have something similar to, like, say, remember in 2020 how everything was supposedly supposed to go down, but we just kept making new time highs while everything was kind of like in fear. I think we'll have a similar thing to that, where we start to actually push again, making new highs while everything is kind of supposed to be falling.
Because everything already failed.
Nah, yeah, most of it's already happening for the most part. Crypto had a major drop. Everything's already dropped for the most part. Now it's time to get back into that bullish environment where we can actually get to those highs again and we can make money. Because right now, it's in the trenches. Right now, everything's in the trenches. But that's how I like it, because everyone right now is taking their money out, and we're just waiting patiently. We're waiting patiently to get better entries, waiting patiently to hold long term. Because a lot of people, they don't think how we do, based off charts and probabilities and like actually understanding what it's doing based off like price delivery. So we're already 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And that's a fact.
Yeah, like that's why I feel like one day I definitely want to catch one of those 3 year, 4 year long
Mm-hmm.
catch a stock at the right time. Like,
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, that's happening right now. Like, it's all happening right now. Now in the next couple of like 5-6 months, I think it's gonna be the best time. If not, the best time already happened. Like in the past like 4 or 5 months, I say. Because for all I know, Ethereum could keep on going. It could just keep shooting and never have a retracement again.
about it then too.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will personally, but you never really know. It could. Like right now, it's at 16. I remember I got in at 9 something. I should have kept holding. But hey, you win some, you lose some. And based off the weekly and based off everything and monthly, like I was saying, we didn't engulf on Ethereum, but you know how these pairs kind of move with the indexes. And look at this. So it could keep pushing from here for all we know, but whatever happens, we'll make money on something else. We're traders. We could find anything. We could trade anything, especially with day trading. We could find the same move that would have took people 5 years. We could take in a day. Just got to risk a little bit more sometimes. That's all it comes down to. It's just a numbers game. Numbers game, bro. Mm-hmm. The concept is easy. The most struggle is going to be like with you. Like you as a person is the main problem a lot of the time. Yeah, bro. This it's way harder, but it's worth it. Nothing worth doing is easy.
You gotta put a lot more. You gotta put a lot more work into it.
Mm-hmm. But it's worth it though, for sure. You get the work's worth. Nah, that's really it. This is my whole little breakdown. I only trade one pair, so it's not really much to look at. Just gotta let the market close. We're gonna see how it closes tonight and how that London session plays out, and that's gonna give us everything we need coming into Monday.
Yeah, I can't wait back tomorrow morning. So you gonna see what's up.
Oh yeah, we lit in the morning.
I'm about to goddamn get up off here, bro.
Are you good, bro?
Outlook, bro.
Of course. We're gonna see you in the morning. We're gonna get this money.
Alright, bro.
But all right, bro, you be safe. But all right, Crenshaw and James, appreciate y'all for being here. We got this little weekly market breakdown. If you guys have any questions, you guys could just ask in the Telegram. I'll answer them if you had any that you can answer. But this video is going to be on YouTube also. So if you want to check it out there, rewatch it, it'd be free. But with that being said, appreciate everyone for being here. That's it with this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all in the next one. And yeah, appreciate everyone for coming.